organization, the idea of it started about 4 years ago from the county executive, Joni Mahoney. And she was the one that had read about this and heard about this kind of idea of bringing shelter dogs to correction facilities. And she had reached out to me and a few other folks in the community who are doing animal welfare work already and said, hey, we have this idea, we need your help and support in getting this passed through county legislation, because it would need to go through county legislation in order to actually take place. And we also need to know, how do you run a shelter? We have no idea how to run a shelter. So in doing that, we all kind of came to the table about 4 years ago and started coming up with a plan to not only get this passed through county legislation, but also get everything in place that would be needed to actually have a functioning animal shelter. There's a couple different really awesome benefits of Second Chance. And the first one is the obvious, the dogs. We have a shelter here that houses dogs that come into the city of Syracuse. Most of them come in as stray dogs. And because the city shelter is overfilling with these dogs because of the overpopulation problem, Second Chance is here to take some of those dogs and kind of act as an overflow for the community. So it really helps those dogs not only get literally a second chance at life and they survive, versus being euthanized. They come here, they get a second chance, and then end up in forever families that we love seeing when they go out the front door. So there's that benefit. The other benefit is that we have inmates from Jamesville Correctional Facility coming down to actually work with the dogs. And that's huge because it really gives the opportunity of vocational training and self-esteem building and connection with animals that the inmates are receiving as a result of being here throughout the day.
Hi, my name is Dave Zanoni. I'm a corrections officer at Jamesville. And as of right now, I am head of the Second Chance Shelter. My duty is I have inmate workers, so my job is to watch them. They come down, take care of the dogs, they clean out the kennels, on just security purposes to make sure nothing happens to either the animal or the inmates. I'm here 5 days a week. We have another officer who's here the other 2 days that I'm not here. I see a relationship between the dogs and the inmates while they're working with them, they're training them. They have a good bond. You can see a connection with the dogs and the inmates. As time goes through, they really are close to one another. So I think it's more rehabilitating, for them. It gives them, a sense of accomplishments, while they're being incarcerated. You try to just keep your job and your personal life separate, but it does affect you. Because you see the connection between, like the animals, the dogs, the inmates, and how they relate to one another. You see with the guys working one-on-one with each animal, you can see that they have patience. They do have feelings, that they do care about, the dogs that they're working with, compared to, if they're in a unit, they have a lot of time to think of their incarceration, depression, they can be upset that they're in jail. This gives them an opportunity to be outside the walls of the jail and to be able to do something with their energy, positively.
I walk the dogs, I help train the dogs. I'm one of the people that helps with evaluating the dogs before they come here, and then I help process adoption applications and help do meet and greets. If the people have their own dogs, and we need to make sure that they're compatible with the dogs that we're potentially placing in their home. I certainly think about all these dogs when I go home, but it can happen really fast. Like if we have a couple dogs right now, we got one in today or yesterday. He could potentially go home today if somebody already had an approved application and didn't have any pets and all the vet references checked out. He could go home today. So things can go real quick, but things can go a little bit slower too. We've had dogs where we do the meet and greets with the dogs, and we were like, we think it went well, but we want to see them come back again and do another meet and greet with the dogs to make sure that it really is as good as we thought it was, to make sure that the dog's going to go to the best home. So it can be a little bit drawn out, but for the most part, it's a pretty quick process. Absolutely. I help train the inmates to train the dogs. So I'm down here a lot when they're down here, and they do a really good job. They're a really crucial part of this shelter. So we wouldn't be able to manage everything that we do without them. I've had inmates tell me that they really enjoy the program. It really helps them deal with what, they're in jail. It's not great, I can imagine. Haven't been there, but they really love, to come down here and work with the dogs, and it definitely helps the dogs. They get the extra socialization, they get the training before they get to their new home, so it makes them more adoptable as well. And then it works the inmates being able to do something they probably hadn't really done with working with the dogs. And we have a wide variety of dogs. We've got some large ones, we've got small ones that have a ton of energy, some that have no energy. So they really got to adapt to each dog, and obviously that's a life skill for anybody. So it benefits the inmates as well as the dogs. I've been here for, I think it'll be a year in May or April, and I spend a lot of hours down here. I enjoy doing it a lot. I wouldn't come back if I didn't.